Cool. Thank you guys so much for taking time out of your days to chat with me for a little bit. I really appreciate it.
Sure.
How's everyone doing? Everyone
Yeah,
Good.
Yeah, very good. Thank you.
good.
Very
Good.
good. Thank you.
very good.
Awesome.
Thank you all.
I've got a few questions for you guys. Please don't feel pressured to answer anything that you don't want to or is quite boring. It's absolutely fine. I can totally take it. But, we'll dive straight in if that's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, great.
Absolutely.
How have your guys' shows been going so far? I know you've been around a little bit recently. How has it all been going? Enjoying it, I hope.
Great.
Yeah, absolutely
Awesome.
brilliant.
Every show is different, and that's what keeps it exciting.
Yeah, awesome. So I have been told by a colleague of mine who actually saw you a few nights ago or last, I can't actually remember when, all the days seem to mold into one
Nottingham.
at the moment. But your intro music, can we talk about that? It's Motley Crue.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
we've
How
tried
did-
a few things. We kind of tried lots of different things out over the last kind of couple of years, and there was a couple of things that stuck, and it just depends on how we feel on the night. Sometimes we open up with a bit of heart.
Love
Sometimes we
it.
open up with some Motley Crue. It just makes me
Brilliant.
laugh. It's just quite ironic, really, because we start off with girls, girls, girls,
Yeah,
and then two guys walk on the stage.
awesome.
The biggest girls in the
One
band.
one time we started with the Imperial March from Star Wars. We had a gig on
Oh yeah.
May 4th, where we went for May the 4th be with you and had a theme from Star Wars on. So we mixed it
Has
up
to be
sometimes.
done. Star Wars Day.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can't really not, can you?
Yeah,
Is
exactly.
it like just a bit of like hype music? Is it, for you
Yeah.
guys?
Yeah,
Pretty
Like,
much.
and
come on, let's do
and
it.
it's the same when we finish as well. We usually like once we finished our set, we put "Don't Stop" by Fleetwood Mac on because it's such a feel good song,
Good
and
song,
it's just
yeah.
nice to end the night celebrating and all the crowd sing along with us. So
Yeah.
the walk on and the finished music are quite important to us, really, because it totally sets the vibe.
Absolutely, like bookends it like nicely for everyone, I imagine. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And we usually do some pretty terrible dancing on stage during the song at the
Speak
end.
for yourself.
Nice.
Actually bad.
Just you, everyone else has got it down.
No, I'm speaking for everybody. I am definitely speaking for everybody.
Okay.
I resent that.
Have there been any like standout moments for you guys individually or as a group so far, or any standout places where you're like, that show was awesome?
I'd say so at the end of last year we did our big Christmas show in Portsmouth
Yeah,
at the Wedgwood Room. That was an incredible show.
that was incredible. Yeah.
Yeah. That was probably that is the biggest crowd we've ever played to.
Other than Skegness.
Other than Skegness.
Biggest headline
Biggest
show.
headline show.
Yeah. It's hard to describe, I guess, like you do small shows, for your career and stuff, and when you get to playing a big crowd of your own fans and they all cheer at the end of a song, it's so much louder than you expect. It genuinely took my breath away. I was like, ah.
It was like a roar. It was more like
it was like a roar.
wall of sound. I thought you were going to say Putney, Billy, because your family were first
That was
time they saw
another
you.
highlight. Yeah, that's the live album that we released last year. It was from that gig. That was a very big favourite of mine as well.
First time at the Isle of Wight Festival. The tent was packed out. That was quite.
That was good.
That was
Nice.
amazing.
Yeah. See, for me, it's the intimate shows that really connect with, because I love to connect with the audience, like really like seeing their face, and
Try to touch them.
I often go out in the crowd and hold their hands and like really vibe with them when I'm singing.
I love
So
that.
like stand out for me was one. I don't know why this particular one. I think we were just really connected to the audience in this one. It was the Musician in Leicester, and it just felt like we were really with the audience. Like it felt like we were in someone's living room, and like you could see people crying, like connecting with the songs, and it just felt really special, that particular show. And also Blackpool, No,
I
was it
was
Black?
going
No.
to say that one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Blackpool.
the acoustic
The
one.
main stage was amazing, but we also did an acoustic set the next day,
Oh, no.
and it was kind of impromptu for it to be as long as it was, and there were people queuing. It was packed, and the energy. I cried when everyone was cheering at the end. Like, it was just a round of applause for like 5 minutes. It was. I looked at Lindsay like, I can't deal with this. Like, it's crazy. So that sort of feeling where it takes your breath away. And it's packed, but it's also intimate.
Yeah.
Those sort of shows I love.
Amazing. Yeah, I have this conversation quite often with people about live music, because like my feeling is it's like it's a shared experience, and it's like something quite special about that. And like from what you guys have said, that obviously kind of connects with you as well. That like really connecting with people. You're all there for the same reason, really, aren't you? And I
We have the power to make grown men cry.
that's what you want. That's what you want. Amazing. So going back in time a little bit, back to 2019, which, if I'm right in saying that, is when you started, that's when you formed.
Is this lineup?
Yeah. So obviously a lot has happened in that time, but let's just go right back to the beginning. How did this happen? How did Brave Rival come together? And is there a story behind the name? Because I'm always fascinated by that kind of stuff.
Donna, do you want to say how we came together?
It was us three ladies, first of all. I'd played guitar since I was 14, but never played it in public because it was just like play for my own pleasure, really. And I didn't have the confidence to do it. And I'd have loads of songs, and I don't sing, so they were incomplete to me. And I played some to Chloe, and she was like, "Oh wow, we should do some writing together." And Lindsay said, "Oh, can I come along?" And it just seemed so easy. And we got a load of songs together and started doing some quieter gigs.
That was back in 2018, that one, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right. We did a couple of open mic nights, and it just seemed to work well. But then we wanted a bigger sound. So
Donna wanted to get behind her drum throne.
Yeah, back on the kit.
Amazing. And then how did you two guys come into the play then?
We just needed some eye candy, really.
I've known Billy for years.
Yeah.
Over a decade now, Billy.
We have been in bands together since 2013.
Yeah, 13. Yeah.
Yeah. So when I guess for the girls decided they wanted to start it as like make it into more of a band, Donna picked up the phone, asked me if I'd come play bass. I was like, yep. And then originally there was this lineup of loads of people. It felt like the band was like 20 people in it, but it had we had a different guitarist, we had a keyboardist, we had a saxophonist.
Wow.
We had all these different players, and then chopped it up, whittled it down. Eventually, basically the other people sort of left, and then in the summer of 2019, we had one gig still booked, which was Victorious Festival at Portsmouth.
Yeah.
And Ed was in a band with Donna and I, different band, like an indie rock kind of band. And he asked, did you ask? I can't remember if we asked you, you asked us. I can't remember.
You asked
Someone
me.
asked one.
Yeah,
we asked him to fill in, stand in for this one gig, and then I guess it just fitted so perfectly. We were like, oh, let's start again, keep going with it.
We said he could only do the gig if he does it topless, which he did.
Which he did. Yeah.
Yeah, that did happen. no one was particularly happy about that occurrence.
They asked me, but I said, "Oh, it's too much."
But Ed likes to say that he replaced 3 people because effectively he replaced a different guitarist, a saxophonist, and a keys player.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it actually gave us a bigger sound having less people, because we were kind of then we started focusing on creating raw music.
Yeah.
Whereas before it was like we were trying to fill the space a lot, I think,
Yeah.
and we
Hmm.
weren't quite slotting with a particular sound. Whereas when Ed came on board, I felt like we really found our sound,
Yeah,
Okay.
it
and we've
became
kind of
more
gone from
refined.
strength to strength, really. Yeah.
So it
Yeah.
kind of fell into place for you guys, it seems. Everyone
Yeah.
slotted
Yeah.
in nicely.
That's
Amazing.
it.
Yeah, it just works.
What an origin story. Okay, fast forward again to back now, 2024. Fight or Flight comes out on the 16th of August. Very
Yeah.
exciting.
Yeah.
I've had a cheeky little listen already. Love it.
You like it? Yay!
Yeah, awesome. How are you guys
Cool.
feeling about the release? It's very fast approaching. I feel like the first half of August is already gone. Very
Yeah.
I'm feeling
Yeah.
impatient. I wanna release it
Buzzing.
You're like,
Yeah.
go now.
Yeah. I'm excited and impatient. Like I feel,
Yeah, I just want to get there
the
now.
same. Yeah, it's just,
Yeah.
I just want it to get
There's a
out.
couple of songs we've held back that
Oh,
we're not doing
really?
until the album's out, so
Like,
we're just like
yeah.
desperate to play them. So really
I like
excited.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, I'm sure that you're gonna get an awesome reception from it. How did the album come about? What's your creative process there? How did the songs come about? And then, setting a whole track list together, that's got to be hard. I mean, I'm not a musician, so
Linz?
It was quite a long process, to be honest. I mean, we had about, I don't know, 20, 30 songs that we whittled down to put on the album, and it was basically a process of elimination to see what would work together on an album rather than what songs it was more the fact that what songs did we prefer, like which ones do we want to play live, which ones do we want everybody else to hear. So we that was quite the process, to be fair. With the help of our producer Tarrant as well, kind of helped along the way of this song would work better here and this song would work better against this song, etc. And then actually putting it together in a track listing I thought would take a lot longer than it did. We kind of did that in one evening and just wrote it down and top and tailed it and listened with our producer and figured out what would go where. And we all had different ideas. We all had our own track listing that we'd written out. We compared, and yeah, we're pretty good in that. We're pretty diplomatic, so we came to that conclusion, and we think it works really well.
Yeah, the creative, like the actual process of writing the songs as well, was a bit different this time because the first album, it was sort of written under lockdowns,
Yeah.
so we couldn't really write together so much. But this time, we basically, in between all the touring we were doing, we were getting the rehearsals at the studio and write together in person,
Yeah.
and that just meant that the ideas flowed better, I think, and
I think
and
you can hear that passion in that album.
Yeah.
Like you can hear the difference in the way that we've written. Like
Yeah.
although I'm super proud of Life's Machine, like you can hear that each song is very individual. Like it stands alone in time over those few years.
Yeah.
Whereas this album, I feel like there's a clearer thread because we've all gone on it together. If that makes sense. Like
Yeah, definitely.
we've been vibing and gigging so much that we'll jam something in a sound check or we'll jam something in a rehearsal where we're all kind of going through the same thing. So the music is got a clearer sound, if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely makes sense. So it's
Became
very
more cohesive.
organic process for you guys.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Have you guys got favorite tracks from the album? Is there one that you're like,
Yes.
oh, this one?
Yeah, I think we all have
Different ones, I reckon.
They were different. That's
Favourites,
what I was
yeah.
gonna ask.
Favorites for different reasons though as well.
Yeah.
I couldn't
What's yours then?
tell you there's one. I couldn't tell you one song that's my absolute favorite. They have favorites for different reasons. So like our latest single, Heavy, has always been a particular one for me. Even so, I think that one started with just the chord sequence I had from, I don't even know when, just something I used to noodle around in sound checks when checking the guitar, and just something I always had. So that one's gone back a long way and it grew into a very lyrical, meaningful song. So that one sort of got sentimental meaning to me. And coincidentally, the lyrics that the girls wrote for it, I identify with very strongly. But then on the complete opposite end of the spectrum, there's a song called 17, which hasn't been released yet, one of the ones we haven't played, which is just very balls to the wall, and I like jumping around and headbanging to that one. So it's
I've
like
heard
there's
that that's my
polar
favourite
opposites of
one.
why it means
Is it?
Yeah,
Cool.
Probably because you are 17. You look so young.
definitely not 17, but thank you.
yeah, those would be my two picks, just like from opposite ends of the
Yeah, I love
spectrum.
that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Mine would probably be heavy because of the sentimental part of it, and I just love how the strings sound, and it just feels epic.
Yeah.
And I also love Unraveling, just because it's fun. I can't wait to play it. I think it's hooky, and it started off. The idea was born from being a working mum. It's basically like feeling overwhelmed.
Yeah.
So it's quite a dark, heavy song, but it's still uplifting and fun at the same time.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
just feel like it's quite real without it being as heavy as something like Heavy, if that makes sense.
Yeah, a good balance.
That's why I love that one.
Dance to it, but you feel it as well. That's a good,
Yeah.
good balance. Definitely.
I love Insane.
Yeah.
I love that one. With the weird time signature, being a drummer, it's interesting. And the end, because it just, I think of John Bonham when I'm playing it, because it's so Zeppelin inspired, to me anyway.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
that.
Anyone else want to chip in with their favourite?
Yeah, I'd say Insane, and same reasons Donna said, but also Single Swim. I'm very proud of that one as well.
Yeah, it was good.
It's
and Blame the Voices. I love Blame the Voices.
Blame the Voices, cool as well.
I forgot to say that one as well. Blame the Voices.
The Bond
Lynn?
theme that never was.
I know, Lindsay.
Yeah, it's so Bondy. There's a it's really hard. I love them all, but I think personal favorite of mine is Stars Upon My Scars, because I think that holds a lot of meaning to me personally, and it came out of a lockdown time, so it's quite old. It's like 4 years old. That song, started writing it 4 years ago, and I'm really proud that it ended up on our second album, because I wasn't sure, when you start writing something, you're not sure if it's going to see the light of day.
Yeah, of course.
And it kind of just, it came from something that Ed had put in the folder. It was like a tiny little 4-bar, 8-bar thing, and I was like, oh, I like that a lot. And then it just spurred out, just fell out, and wrote this chorus, and I was like, guys, I need to show this to you. And it just turned into this beautiful, epic, long kind of blues power ballad amazingness that it's one of my favorites to play live as well. I get all the feels from that one. But I fucking love 17 as well.
I feel like that one has really grown with us as a band, and as you as a person as well. That one, it's really powerful.
I find it really powerful, yeah. And I think that one's one that really connects with people. We had a really nice experience over the weekend. We played Cambridge Rock Festival, and I kind of shared a little bit of the story behind the song, and it really connected with people. And like Chloe said earlier, we make grown men cry, 2 of them. Not that we want to make people cry, but
the guy said to me after the gig,
like,
like this guy came over to me after the gig, like, God, that one really made me cry. And then as he was speaking about it, he started crying again. He was like, I can't stop crying. It was just so sweet.
Opened a gate.
Yeah,
we've got
okay. He's not going to stop now. That one man
still crying.
So I mean, that is a eclectic list of favourites. That's basically the album that you've listed there. And obviously there are quite a good few themes running through this album. Can you talk to me a little bit about that, your influences for each of the songs? Because I know that, Lindsay, you've said before there's a bit of a mental health theme there. Anything else? Like, I think that's really important, obviously, and like you said, those men crying at Cambridge Rock is an emotional response. What other themes have you drawn from, and what are have been your other influences for this album?
Well,
I think only. Sorry,
you go.
Well, I was just going to say, you're right. There is a very strong mental health thread, but I think on the flip side of that, there's a lot of fun in this album as well. and a lot of nostalgia. 17 is just, it's such a fun driving, kind of takes you back. It sends you back to the days when you were just a bit more carefree and easy, and life was just a bit more fun, maybe, especially for our audience. So I'm really looking forward to playing that one live and seeing what people's responses are to that. But I think there's definitely an element of fun in the album too.
Yeah. For me, like, kind of almost going alongside the mental health thread, like, I'm very proud to be a feminist, and a lot of the time there's like a taboo around the word feminism or feminist, because it's often seen as women think that they're more superior to men, whereas in actual fact it's about women and men being equal.
Absolutely.
And I feel like this album, in the sense of fun and mental health, kind of touches on feminism, in the sense that it's allowing men to feel like they can have fun and let loose, when there's so much stigma around men not showing that part of them, or being in touch with their emotions, like these grown men crying. That's actually a huge feminist, like, change there, that we're in our audience, we're connecting so much with women and empowering them to speak their minds when we've been told for years not to. But we're also letting men feel like they can say they have anxiety and depression, and giving men the space to cry. And I think that's actually really powerful. So I personally would say this album is actually very feminist, because it's giving everybody the space to feel.
Yeah, definitely. There's something so powerful about that, like, I'm a photographer, like, first, and through my degree I did so much research about mental health. It's what most of my work was about. And then going into music and finding those links, it's so powerful that, like, lovely talented people like you have the power to do that. That's just awesome, and, like, you must feel so proud about that.
I do.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, amazing. So just a couple more questions and then I will let you guys get back to your evening. So the album is out on the 16th. Also, completely, like, running off of my list here, but the album artwork is amazing. It's so cool.
Thank you.
It's amazing.
Any credit to give there for someone, just pop it in because it's so beautiful. I love it so much.
Yeah.
Alice Armstrong.
Yeah, she's
Alice
a
Armstrong.
fellow singer and an incredible artist as well. She's a very talented lady and a really good friend of ours now.
Amazing. Yeah, I just love it. I had to say it before I forgot to say it. It's so beautiful.
Thank you.
So after the 16th, sorry.
No, I'm really sorry. Because I've been out all day, I've got 5% left on my phone.
Okay.
So I apologize if I have to suddenly go. But
That's
thank
okay.
you so
I
much.
will
And it was
try
lovely
and
to
be
meet you.
super quick. If your phone dies, it's lovely to meet you too. So after the 16th, the release of Fight or Flight,
Oh, good.
what are you most looking forward to about people hearing the album, and what is there anything exciting coming up that fans can maybe look forward to from you after this album is released?
I think
You're allowed.
mostly
Jingles.
mostly excited to gig the album, because obviously we have held these songs back, and we've been planning a completely new show in a way, for the whole, like, for the tour. So, like, basically doing the songs, but also maybe extending bits, doing stuff special live, so very excited to do that. Basically just gigging everywhere. Like, we've got this massive tour planned from next Friday. So
Yeah.
And as you said about the beautiful artwork, we've actually got a really special thing that we'll be releasing very soon, which are basically tarot cards of each of the songs, with lyric cards to go along to make a full pack, which will
so
only be
cool.
available at live shows, which is, I'm
Yeah.
really excited to get that out there. I think people are going to love it.
Wow, that sounds very exciting.
Which was designed
Yeah.
by the incredibly talented Lindsay Bonnick of
Amazing.
Brave Rival, and Alice, of course, from the artwork of the album. So
That's amazing.
Yeah, I don't know if you would have got the back of the album sent to you. You probably only got the front, because the back's got, like, all the songs as tarot cards on the back. That list of it. Yeah.
Such a clever design.
I've got it here. I'll show you.
She's got it. She's got something.
Front.
Yeah, I just
Right.
love it. I think it's so cool.
The back has got every single song has its own tarot card.
Oh, that's amazing. That's so clever.
So
Yeah.
it's all completely unique. And then we made them into tarot cards.
That's awesome.
And they're
definitely
shiny.
gonna have to pick some of them up when I'm in London, when I see you guys in London. That's
Yeah.
definitely
That's
pick
right.
those guys up.
Are you coming to Dingwalls?
Yes, hopefully. I'll hopefully
Yeah.
get my camera. I'd love to shoot you guys.
Yes,
Definitely.
Yes,
indeed.
please do.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, last question, and then I will let you get off to your evenings. I ask everyone this, and it can be personal or it can be music related, but what is the best piece of advice you've been given? And can you give it to me or anyone else watching this video?
Don't eat yellow
Uh,
snow.
I knew you were going to say that.
I knew you said
I would say
something-
a big.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry, you go. Actually, I'm going to go because I'm going to say
yeah,
mine
you
quickly
go,
because I'm
yeah,
going to
yeah.
die, if that's okay. Mine would be, and I remember seeing it as a teenager, and I've always passed it on. Don't live in the past. Enjoy the present and look forward to the future.
That's an awesome piece of advice.
nice.
Thank you so much. I hope, yeah, have a lovely evening. Your friend doesn't die on you.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
it's
should
going to die
outside
any second, but I'll stay until I'm dead.
All right.
That's a good quote.
Thank you,
I'll
Chloe.
stay until I'm dead.
I had this advice from a friend once. It said, just stay until you're dead.
Oh,
Stay until you're dead.
I'm joking. No, I don't know. Donna, you were about to say something before.
It's more in advice for musicians about playing live. It was said to me years ago by someone, and I always try and do this in my head, is always play like you're playing at Wembley Stadium.
I loved that.
Yeah.
No matter, even if you're playing, because we've all done it, to a man and his dog in a
Or his
pub,
dog.
you still play like you're playing Wembley.
That's
And it's dead. I live by that.
Like that. The first thing that's come to my mind as a creative, in more sense, in a lot of different ways, I do a lot of creative stuff. I think a good piece of advice is to try and understand when you try and find that line where you think something is good enough, because creatives, the possibilities are so endless, and there's no finish line. You can get so in your head about, well, it's not quite right, it's not quite right, it's not quite right, it's not quite, and never actually finish anything. So try and find that line where you think, I'm happy enough with this thing to then get it out into the world, and then it can grow from there, rather than keeping it all in, thinking it's never good enough, it's never good enough, it's never good enough. That's a bit of a flaw with some creatives. They can't let it out because it's never good enough, but just let it out. When you feel that, that kind of happiness, just let it out, and you never know what could happen.
I love that. Definitely. Know when to step away.
I have a serious one after incredibly serious one a moment ago. I have no idea where I got it from, but it's live for yourself. Anybody that doesn't like it isn't worth bothering with.
I like that. That's like my one is not everyone's gonna like you, and that's all right.
Yeah, basically same thing. Yeah.
To do with you.
Yeah. I think my the only one I can think of is so cliche, but it's you can do anything you want to if you put your mind to it, and I think that is true, really. Like,
yeah,
we're proof of that pudding. Like, we put our minds to it, and we're eating the pudding.
Yeah,
and we work hard.
We do.
Absolutely. That's all good, all very good advice. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys taking the time out of your evening to chat. Yeah, thank you so much, and good luck with next week and the album. I'm so excited to get my hands on that vinyl and those tarot cards.
Yeah.
And hopefully I'll see you guys at Dingwalls. I'll see you in London.
Yeah.
Hope so.
Yeah.
Cool.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much again. I really appreciate it.
So much.
Thank you so much. Bye.
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 Bye.